boy. Alright everybody, welcome to another episode of What's in the Box. Now, we've only got one box, but it's got an assortment of things. So it's going to be an application for a couple of different cars. So, usually if we got a big old humongous box, it's just for one car here lately. So, even though this isn't just a big old box, we have a couple of things going on here. Alright, give you a hint. This stuff's going to be from Chase Bays. And if you're a Honda guy or, well, several tuners, actually no Chase Bays, several brands. Now, it used to, back in the day, they were only dealing with Honda stuff. But we got a few things. Okay. I'll just dig it all out first. Alright, so we'll start with, let's say the G35. This will be the G35 Parts. With the G35, I'm having clutch issues similar to what the 350Z was doing, where I guess the pedal wasn't really working as it should. So I was having issues where it didn't want to take gear. It's almost like the clutch wasn't working, but what it was is the master cylinder, I guess they go bad. They're notorious for going bad in those things. And I've got an account at like the local parts store, and I'll just get a, well, it'll be a replacement slave cylinder, but it will be a name brand, but I have a lifetime warranty on it. So what I did get is the Willwood with the Chase Bays adapter. So this actually has the adapter to make it fit the G35s and 350Zs. So there's an adapter plate that comes with that, because on the 350Zs and G35, the holes are offset, they're not straight. Well, you have to add that plate in so that way the reservoir actually sits straight. So that adapts that Willwood to that. Then I got the upgraded line for that. So we got that deal, and I'm just going to get, like I said, just a master cylinder for, the slave cylinder rather, from my parts store. That way it's got a lifetime warranty, and if it ever goes bad, I can just go get another one. That's pretty simple change out, and that way I can run the Willwood without having to, have any issues there. So, now this, let me think of what all I ordered. Okay, now this is where we had the Willwood EBrake line for the IS300. It ended up pulling loose and breaking on one side. Well, this setup is to replace that. This is the Chase Bays version of it. I'm still kind of working through with Excessive to figure out what we're going to do on the other one. They seem super nice about it. I just want to, put that out there. And it's, I don't want to say it was my fault, but the questions they were asking about where I drilled and this and that, I'm going to have to assume it's my fault, because I just followed the existing hole inside where the e-brake went, and that left me a straight shot straight across to each brake caliper. So I'm assuming you were supposed to drill it somewhere and go down through the floor. I couldn't go straight from the center to both sides. I don't know how I was supposed to go anywhere else and drill and go down, because there wasn't enough line, or maybe I was supposed to buy another line that I didn't realize. So at this point, I think it was my fault. I really don't know. So it's still kind of questionable at this point. That gives us the replacement hydro handbrake fluid cable, or I guess you just call it a line, for the e-brake for the IS300. So that's the replacement for that, where the Willwood one has broken. That gives us a whole brand new. And what I like about the Chase Bays, when I ordered the Willwood, I didn't really pay a lot of attention. It just said it was the line for the handbrake for the IS300. Okay, fair enough. It's for that car. Okay. But when it came together, it came all in one piece. You couldn't disassemble, or if a piece was bad or didn't fit or wasn't long enough, you couldn't change anything. What I like about the Chase Base kit is it has fittings and some individual lines where it's going to have to go in separate pieces. You know, so if you end up, you know, damaging it, like let that one come apart, well, you can just fix that one section. You know, even if you have to add in something or hardline it or something into it, you just have to work on that one piece. So I like the thought of it being separate pieces. So that way, if I have any issues, rub a hole in anything, I don't have to buy the entire kit or the entire replacement $150 line setup. I can just call and see if they can't just give me one of the lines, which one I actually need. So I like that a little better, I think. So if I had to do it over again, I think the Chase Base would be the way to go, and it's just for that reason that you have the option to just replace one single line of one area. You don't have to replace the entire line if, like, that's one pulled apart on the Willwood. Okay. I don't know if I've mentioned it in a previous video. I think I have. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet. So sometimes we mix and match the open box stuff, kind of according to what we're working on. But this is the brake line tuck for a Del Sol or a Honda Civic or an Integra. It's going to be for a Del Sol. And so this is, I'm still debating, are we going to delete the brake booster or not just yet, and the master cylinder. I'm not 100% sure whether that's the way we're going or not. So I have to make up my mind what we're going to do there. But this is that kit that does the brake line tuck for the front, and then it actually goes down where the two hard lines go to the rear of the car. You have to cut them off and kind of swedge, I guess it's called, where you can tie this line into the factory hard lines that go all the way back to the car. So this is that brake line tuck kit for the Del Sol. So that's kind of letting the cat out of the bag, or the box, so to speak, that we're going to have a Del Sol. I don't know how long it's going to be before we start on that project, but we're probably just going to, the engine bay's already been cleaned and painted. It's not, you know, it's not been welded in all the holes in the engine bay. It's not been that extra mile, but it's been painted. Everything's been took out, and the actual cross member and stuff has been taken down and resanded and painted. And like I say, the engine bay has been repainted. So we're going to just go back with new stuff so it looks good, and then ultimately it's just going to be a daily driver for my son. I think that's what we're going to go with. And I don't think we're going to do anything crazy, but it just didn't make sense to put that time and effort in that engine bay and not continue on with making it pretty clean under the hood and, you know, having a halfway decent looking engine bay. So we're going to go with that, and we'll probably do a B series swap into it. It's not a SI car, it's just a single cam car. But I've got a couple of LS motors, 1.8 Integra motors laying around, so we'll kind of sift through that, so we can't find a transmission to get it in there and get it all going. So that's what we've got with that ordeal. So that's kind of the cat out of the bag kind of deal on another project we got coming. And again, this is for the drift car. I've got to get it on the lift, get it jacked up. There's something making noise underneath because it's a drift car. I don't know. We just put all that assembly, all that stuff in, and just took it to the track. We may have overlooked something. Something may be broke. Not just sure yet. When you accelerate, it's getting a noise, almost like maybe a bad carrier bearing or something, or maybe something in the, as you accelerate, it gets louder, and it sounds just like a scraping sound. It's hard to explain. But we'll check into that. So while we're fooling with that car, we'll get started on this set. And again, we'll be back to the e-brake on the IS300, ready to put that thing together and maybe get some drifting going on. But all right, that's what's in the box. Thank you guys for watching.